This new godlike guard build has me walking off 50-game win streaks on the regular. This is the best offensive build in the entire game. It's a 6'2" guard with a 99 3-point rating. I'm shooting about 60% from 3 since making this build. And I hit some of the craziest shots possible with how unreal this build's shooting is. I leave every defender absolutely speechless when I'm pulling threes from the parking lot. This build has a 95 ball handle, unlocking every single dribble move in the game. And earning Legend Lightning Launch, this build moves at the speed of light. You'd probably assume that this build has no defense, but it has unbelievable defensive stats given how unstoppable it is on offense. This is the new best build in NBA 2K25, the godlike guard. Subscribe if you're new around here. I've seen the analytics. 92% of you guys are not subscribed. Help me out. Click that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It's free. Also, I've been streaming every single night on Twitch, twitch.tv/solo_, streaming the entire Grind to Legend 5. Link in the description. Come through, drop a follow. Kirk Cousins just needs 1 yard for you to win money on Underdog Fantasy using code SOLO. Boosttober is officially here. For every day this month, Underdog is giving you guys one promo. All Underdog Fantasy is higher or lower on your favorite player's player stats, and you can mix and match different sports. The MLB playoffs just started, so I'm going to be making picks on that along with the NFL season, and the NBA season is right around the corner, so you can make picks on that as well. You guys can see I made 8 different picks, put $25 on it. I used my 31% profit boost. That's the first promo of Boosttober, and you guys can see $25 returned to over 7,000 if all of these were correct. They also have a ton of daily, weekly, and yearly fantasy drafts. Use code SOLO when you sign up on Underdog Fantasy for up to $1,000 in bonus credit, and also getting all the specials from Boosttober and the Kirk Cousins 1 yard special. Sign up, have some fun, but be sure to play responsibly. Ladies and gentlemen, I have officially done it. If you are looking for a new best build in the game, you've came to the right spot, because after spending hours in the My Player Builder, I think I've really found the new meta. First things first, we're going to want to create our own build. Handiness does not really matter. That's all personal preference, and same with the jersey number. One of the most glaring things about the My Player Builder, if you're new to the game, you might not know this, but depending on your height, you actually get way more attributes. So the shorter you go, that's why we're seeing a lot of 5'9" builds be very OP, because the shorter you go, the more attributes you get. So the day one build that I made was a 6'3", and that build is very, very good, by the way. I hit starter 3 and unlock cap breakers, which we'll talk about that more later if you don't know what that is. And I hit starter 4 and unlock some secret animations. So I was like, you know what? I could probably make this build a little bit better. After looking at the My Player Builder and looking at a 6'3" build, I decided that it might be best to just go with a 6'2" build to get a little bit more attributes. It is only 1 inch after all. Now, I'm a guy that wants to play a little bit of defense, so if you do want a crazy amount of attributes and you do go 5'9", yeah, maybe you can get a 99 steal, but you're still 5'9" at the end of the day. And I feel like going 6'2" or 6'3" or even 6'4", you're able to play a little bit of defense. And trust me, I go on crazy win streaks all the time. I can hold my own and actually play some really good defense on a 6'2". Now, for the weight of this build, the lowest that you're going to want to go is 205, but what I ended up going with was 220. Now, he does look a little bit fat. He looks a little bit bulky, so I'm not sure exactly, but you might get a slimmer body type or whatever if you do go 205, so you could do that if you want, but I went with 220. And then for the wingspan of this build, and this is very important, I always like to get as much wingspan as possible, but for the first time in my 2K career, I decided that I want to build with a 99 3-point rating. Yes, a 99 3-point rating. I mean, we've all played this game, or maybe you haven't and you're just looking for a build to play your first part game with, but shooting is a little bit tough on this game. And again, since I made this new build, I'm shooting the lights out. I've had no problems. And in order to get that 99 3-point rating, we have to go down in the wingspan to a 6'3". And I do want to say that, yeah, this looks a little sketchy. You're going to be 6'2" with a lower wingspan. So are you going to be good at defense? We are going to be good at defense. You'll see the attributes that we end up getting. And trust me, again, I play the game a lot. I really do play good defense, even though my wingspan is a lot lower. I get crazy lane steals. If you play this game, you know how crazy the lane steals are. Don't worry, this is going to be just fine. This is the most important part of the video. We have the attribute screens. Now, if you are going to be copying my exact build, there's a few things that you need to know. Basically, I spent hours in the builder putting each attribute at the exact specific correct number to get the best badges, the best animations, all of that. I really thought about everything. And also, I'm a starter 5 rep. So at starter 3, you get the cap breakers, so you can make better builds. And at starter 4, you unlock secret animations. So that'll also play into the creation of this build, but I'll explain that more when we get there. Let's start off with our 3-point shot. Now, the first thing that you need to know is this is where my cap breakers come into play. If you guys know what cap breakers are, basically they allow you to upgrade your build past whatever you made it in the builder. So for example, in the builder right now, I'm going with a 94 3-point rating, but when I get into the park on my actual build, I'm going to have a 99 3-point rating because I'm going to put all 5 of my cap breakers on my 3-point shot. You get cap breakers at starter 3, you get 5 of them, and they go to all of your builds, they unlock badges. So you guys see Deadeye, Limitless Range, Mini Marksman, Set Shot Specialist. All of these badges are going to be legend. They're going to be red. They're going to be the highest tier possible. And of course, I'm also going to be getting every single jump shot possible in the entire game for small guard. Now, what I want to say is a lot of you guys are not starter 3. So you're going to be saying, Solo, I don't know if I should make this build. If you're going to be playing this game a decent amount, you're going to eventually hit starter 3 rep. So this is like an investment, or honestly, 94.3 is still really good. But what I would do is, if you don't care about the cap breakers at all, again, I think it's smart to care about them. I think it's an investment. You're going to get them eventually. Is you could up your wingspan to like 6'6", so that you guys can see now 94 is maxed out, because cap breakers aren't going to matter. We're not going to go to a 99.3, so you just up the wingspan if you weren't going to care about the cap breakers. Next up, we have our ball handle. Let's just go over some of the most important attributes first. Like, I'm not going to go upgrade my post control second. That would be kind of dumb, but we're going to be putting our ball handle very, very high. Again, this is one of the best offensive builds in the entire game. Now, if we're talking default animations, default dribble moves, you get all of them at a 92, but at starter 4 rep, and again, a lot of you guys are not starter 4 rep. The game just came out. You know, a lot of you guys are probably still rookies, maybe starter 1, starter 2, something like that. At starter 4 rep, you get one of the best dribble moves in the game, which is Steve Francis signature size up. And that is actually unlocked at a 95 ball handle. So again, if you don't think you're going to be a crazy high rep, then honestly, just keep this at a 92. But for people like me and people like you guys that might consider going for starter 4 rep or getting that eventually, I don't think it's too hard at starter 4. Like, it's literally been what, 3-4 weeks and I'm already a starter 5. You guys will get there eventually, especially if you're going to play this game a decent amount. You are going to want to go 95 ball handle to get that Steve Francis sig size up. And also, you guys see we get handles for days on Hall of Fame, ankle assassin on Hall of Fame, ankle breakers go kind of crazy this year. Unpluckable is going to be on gold, and we're going to unlock every single dribble move in the entire game. And I'll put some clips up on the screen right here. Like, I move so crazy with this 95 ball handle. And obviously, you can have a 95 ball handle, but if you don't know how to dribble, then you're kind of screwed. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know how to dribble too. Like, you're not just going to have a 95 ball handle and then all of a sudden turn into a dribble god. I'll link a dribble tutorial and a dribble moves video with a jump shot video and all that in the description if you guys need help on how to get better at dribbling, shooting, anything like that. This 95 ball handle is really going to go crazy. Now, the next crucial thing, and this didn't really matter last year, that's going to be speed of ball. Last year, we saw a lot of people go with, you know, minimum speed of ball. We saw like 40 speed of ball builds, 50, like very low speed of ball. But this year, it's very important. You guys see on the right, we have a lightning launch. This badge determines basically how fast you burst out of your dribble moves. It is very, very important. And so on this build, we are not only going to get gold, which a lot of guards do, but we're going to go up to a 91 to get Hall of Fame lightning launch. Now, what we're going to do with this, we're going to go into our badges and go to our badge perks and use our max +1 tier 1 badge on lightning launch. So we're going to have legend lightning launch along with all the dribble moves in the game, along with all the legend shooting badges with the +5 cap breakers, of course, and a 99 3-pointer. That alone is unreal, and I cannot wait until I get even more cap breakers. You get more cap breakers at veteran 2 and then legend 1, which I will of course be doing, especially for the content, so you guys can see how crazy the builds really do get. But this is really just the beginning of like the crazy builds that we're gonna be able to make on 2K25. 2K really gave us an incentive to grind rep this year, and I just gotta give them props for that. I'm not even trying to glaze. Like, builds are really gonna be looking crazy this year, especially if you play the game a lot. Like, there's actually a reason to grind, unlike the last few years. Next up, let's do our defense. And I said I wanted some defense. I don't want to be a 6'2", that's just a liability. So we're gonna go very high in our perimeter defense. Very, very high. A lot of people would probably go, you know, maybe 85 to get these silver badges, but no, we're not stopping there. We're going all the way up to a 92 perimeter defense. You guys see gold challenger, gold on ball menace, gold pick dodger, Hall of Fame off ball pest. We're going to be playing some really good defense with this build. And then I also wanted some steal. Now, what a lot of people would do is they'll stop at a 79, which is where you get silver glove. But me, I wanted even more. We got an 85 steal for interceptor, because if you guys have played this game, you know lane steals are crazy. You're going to want your interceptor badge on the highest level possible. You know, if I'm a lockdown or if I'm a center, this is a badge that I would consider putting on my max +1 to get it even higher in level. Now, this is where I really make my builds insane, and this is where I feel like I really outthink a lot of other people, because look in the top left corner, we're a 98 out of 99 overall. We only have one attribute point left to use. So let's say there was another person making a build, right? They're like, okay, let me just throw a three-pointer on, right? Now that the build's pretty much maxed out, maybe get your midi up to an 87, bang. The build's maxed out. No, I'm gonna bring this down and we are about to finesse a lot of different things. Starting off with our finishing. Now, I realized on my first build that driving dunk is not too crazy. I had an 89 driving dunk. I had the basic contact dunks, but every time I'd go for a contact dunk, I'd pretty much miss. Like, they really nerfed it from last year, unless maybe you have like a 96 driver dunk or a 99, something insane. 89 really wasn't cutting it. So on my new build, I was like, I kind of do want some driving dunk, but I don't really need contact dunks. I feel like a lot of the time they're just forcing me to miss because it's like, hey, I got contact in my build. Let me go try and dunk with this dude. No, I miss majority of the time doing that. So it's just kind of dumb. But we are going to get an 80 driver dunk. Now with this, we're unlocking a lot of very crucial dunk packages, which I'll show you which ones you want to put on at the end of the video when we're done making the build. And the next thing I did is I went to my standing dunk and I put this up to at least a 40, because if you guys have watched my build videos before, or maybe you just are smart when it comes to 2K, you know that standing dunk is very cheap. And just by putting it at a 40, you unlock standing dunk packages. And so you can actually do standing dunks. So on every build I make, I have at least a 40 or a 45, because that's where you get the next level of standing dunk packages. And it's, again, very, very cheap to get in the builder. So we're going to go ahead and secure our standing dunk packages with a 45 standing dunk. You guys can see in the top left corner, 98 out of 99. There's a sliver left in our potential overall at the top there in that green, but we're far from finished with this build. Something else that I noticed after playing the game for our first few weeks is that interior defense matters a lot. Even if you're on a small guard, like, you'll get stops. People will miss on you in the paint if you're in front of them if you have a high interior. Now, if you have a very low interior, they're just gonna have an open every time, even if you're in the front of them. So what I decided to do was I brought my interior defense up very, very high. Also, another thing is that a lot of people would probably say block is more important. I disagree, especially because we're 6'2" with a 6'3" wingspan. We're not really gonna be blocking the ball, but interior defense, that will actually help us generate a lot of stops in the paint. So we're gonna put this up basically as high as it can go. We're gonna go to a 72 because look, when we go to a 73, other stats start to come up with it. We don't want to spend all those attributes elsewhere. So I'm going to stop at a 72. Then I'm going to bring my block up to a 59, which is going to be maxed out. Now we're going to be great in the paint for a 6'2" with a 6'3" wingspan. Like, a lot of other guards are going to be like free buckets in the paint. I'm not that. And then we were hit with a few questions, and I was streaming actually when I was making this build. So I was talking to my chat. We went over a lot of different versions of this build. There's a lot of things that you could get with these final attributes. Posterizer is one of them. If I go down and get a 65 vertical, I can get posterizer. Now, is that important when I don't even have contact dunks unlocked? How much is posterizer really going to help me? Another thing was, of course, free throw. If you plan on playing Rec or Pro-Am, then maybe you could just upgrade your free throw even higher, even though with a 70, you're going to hit him a decent amount of the time. Another big one was dimer. Should I put this up 1 to get silver dimer? Another option is rebound chaser. If I get a 60 O board or D board, I can get bronze rebound chaser, which will help me get some rebounds. And then the final thing to really consider on this build was getting a 60 strength, which will unlock a bunch of these bronze badges that are correlating to strength. The final decision that I decided to go with was I did get dimer. I feel like that's very important, especially as a point guard. 71 pass accuracy will be just fine. And I also do use my max +1 tier 2 badge on dimer. So we're not only getting silver dimer, but I'm having gold dimer on this build of my max +1. That is, of course, listed under the badge perks if you don't know how to find that. And then next up, I decided to put some strength on this build. So we do go up to a 60 strength, which gives us bronze physical finisher and bronze strong handle. And then to finish off the build, I put my standing dunk up 1 to a 46, and we put the rest of the attributes on offensive rebound. This right here is the new best build in NBA 2K25 for guards. If you skip to this part of the video, subscribe, because I'm putting in the work so that you guys don't have to. And just for those of you that did skip to this part of the video, because I know that's what a lot of people do when it comes to build videos, once you hit start at 3, you get 5 cap breakers. I'm putting them all on 3-point. So we're gonna have all legend shooting badges and a 99 3-pointer. And then also at starter 4, you unlock one of the best drill moves in the entire game, Steve Francis signature size up, and you get that at a 95 ball. So we're gonna have all of the best drill moves in the game, because we're gonna unlock literally all of them with a 99 3-pointer and all legend badges. We're also gonna have Hall of Fame lightning launch, which I will use a max +1 on to get legend lightning launch. And then look at the defense on this build, especially for a 6'2" guard with a 6'3" wingspan. You'd expect, oh, that's probably free buckets. Nah, we got some good defense on this build, as you guys can see. We're also not a free bucket in the paint with a 72 interior and a 59 block. And again, the reason I'm not going too crazy on my driver dunk is because I had had an 89 driver dunk on my first build. We had contact dunks, posterizer, but it really wasn't going too crazy. And again, like I said before, if you do have a 96 driver dunk or maybe even a 99, yeah, maybe it's a little bit better. The way I play, I don't want to try forcing contact dunks. With an 80, I unlock some of the best dunk packages in the game, which I'm going to show you which ones you want to put on in a second. So again, subscribe if you guys haven't, because there was a lot of thinking, a lot of math that went into making this build. We're on the already 100K sub up, but now we have our takeovers. This is something that a lot of people don't really look at. We get ankle taker, we get finesse, fluid shooter, midi maestro, pest, sniper, the claw, 3-point architect, 3-and-D, spot up shooter, satellite, mirror, make it rain, flash, and dribble wizard. The takeover that I've been using on this build is going to be satellite. As you can see, at level 5 we get +7 to our mid-range and +7 to our 3-pointer, along with +7 to our speed. And the main thing that I'm looking at, of course, the attributes are nice, but the takeover ability matters a lot, and I like the deep bomber takeover ability because with our legend limitless range and a 99 3-point, extending our range even more just makes this build that much more crazy. I really do like the deep bomber takeover ability, but what I will say about takeovers is they do feel a little bit weak so far in 2K25. Now I know they're not supposed to turn you into a god, but compared to other 2Ks, I feel like they're not as strong, they're not as good. Drop a like in the video if you guys agree with that. Now it's time to see what type of build we have created, what are going to be the shades, what is the build going to be called, and we have shades of Kevin Johnson, De'Aaron Fox, and Fred VanVleet, and what is going to be our build name. You have built a 2-way 3-level shot creator. It's one of the best build names you can get. I know it's not very unique, but hey, it's a 2-way build, it's a 3-level scorer, and it's a shot creator. If you guys do end up making this build, please leave a comment, let me know how it is working out for you. Come back after you make it, come back in a week or whatever it is. Now I want to show you guys some of the key animations, and I also want to show you this build when what it looks like with the cap breakers on it. As you guys can see, I now loaded into the park on my 2-way 3-level shot creator, the best guard build in the game. And yes, if you guys did not see, I did win the first ever event on 2K25 Basketball Gods. I'm one of 15 people in the entire world to have unlimited rebounding boost, and of course the full Basketball Gods outfit. Check my channel if you guys want to see how I won all that. But this is what the build looks like with the cap breakers. You guys can see the yellow bars on my 3-pointer. I put all 5 of my cap breakers from starter 3 rep onto 3-pointer, so we do have a 99 3-pointer. This is what the cap breaker screen looks like. You guys can see all 5 of them on 3-pointer there to get 99 maxed out for that. You'll also notice in the top of the screen it says 2-way 3-level shot creator. The build name did not change. Once you guys do use cap breakers, you sometimes will have your build change its name completely, and you have an option. Do you want to accept the build name change, or do you want to keep the OG one? And as far as my badges go, it's pretty much a maxed out build at this point in time. My badge perks, we have lightning launch, of course, as the tier 1, you know, max +1 badge to get that on legend. That is crucial. And then tier 2, we have dimer. Put that on gold. For my badge elevators, I did limitless range right away, and then maximum overdrive, I did these 4. Before I show you guys the animations, let me talk about what you want to upgrade first, because this is actually a popular question whenever I post builds. If you don't have rebirth builds like me and you can't go straight to 99 overall or whatever, then you want to get your 3-pointer pretty high, maybe not max, but you want to get it pretty high. Same with the ball handle, probably go to like a 92 ball handle at least. You want to get speed of ball to at least an 86 or a 91. Get your standard dunk to a 45, because that's a very easy thing to do. Midi can honestly stay down for now, and then I try to get my perimeter and my steal pretty high. Interior is also cheap to upgrade, so I'd probably try to get that. Maybe a little bit of pass accuracy, and then speed and agility. They don't honestly need to be maxed right away. Strength can wait, vertical can wait as well. And as far as the animations go, this is a very important part of the video. You guys can see what dunks I'm using. Now for the 2-foot dunks, I don't like these. They're just not as good as the 1-foot dunks in my opinion, so I'm not using any of them, as you guys can see. But for the 1-foot dunks, I have on athletic one-handers off 1. We also have the quick drops off 1, which I think you need to be a certain rep. I think starter 4 maybe for that one, so you guys might not have that right away. And then we have the baseline reverses off 1. For the standing dunks, this is very important. This is why we got a 40 or a 45 standing dunk. You want to equip the regular standing dunks, 1-hand and 2-hand under basket regular. For the signature dunks, I have on Devin Booker. You get this at an 80 driver dunk. That's another reason as to why we went with an 80 driver dunk, 60 vertical on this build. For the alley-oops, we have on the pro alley-oop dunk packages. I don't like to put on anything crazy like the flashy ones, or even just for like these ones here, signature dunks or anything else. I don't like to get too crazy, put on cradles, something. I mean, cradles actually isn't terrible, but like some of the wild ones you get blocked on. So now if you guys do want the best jump shots in the game or the best dribble moves in the game, I'll put links to those videos in the description. Also in these videos, I'm giving you full dribble tutorials and how to shoot better in general. Trying to make you guys as good as possible. Let's make it a good year. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Come through to my Twitch if you want to see me using this build. I might be live right now playing on this very build right here. Solo_ is my Twitch. There'll be a link in the description. I'll see y'all over there.